What's going on, everybody? ZionCapitalFX here. My name is Chance, and you are watching the video log series where we take anyone that doesn't know anything about Forex, indices, or the markets in general and put them on the path to consistent profitability and hopefully eventually financial freedom. Consistent profitability is the goal, financial freedom is the dream. So, today we're going to talk about the importance of news events. Why do news events affect us? Well, you got to understand Forex and indices, the markets. There's all these variables that play into why the currency rate of a Forex pair or the particular stock of a a weighted stock in the indices market, earning report, all that stuff plays an integral role on the rates at which these stocks or currencies differentiate. Governments, they back their currency with another currency. It's like almost like, think of it like insurance, and they set the rates, and these rates fluctuate over time, minutes, seconds, depending on what's going on in the world. There may be a news event, there may be a disaster, there may be something that plays into effect, there might be institutions that are on the brink of collapsing, economic crisis. All that stuff plays an important role, and a lot of times uh there'll be a news release or a news report, and you'll see a drastic change in an asset because of that news release. Also, there's projected news reports that everyone is has the resource to see ahead of time before the news event happens. Now, after doing this for so long, these resources have segregated these news events into different categories. There's green event or green folder news, there's orange folder news, there's red folder news, and each folder, if it's green, orange, yellow, has a different impact on the market for that current asset. Red folder news, you'll hear that term a lot. That's very high impact, volatile news that could have a serious effect on the market. So if you're in a trade and you're looking at these resources and you see that, hey, red folder news is about to drop and release in 5 minutes, you might want to consider managing your trade differently. You may even get out of your trade and then wait for the news to release and let the market give it time to breathe and settle down after the news release. If you don't believe me, just look up whenever the CPI interest rates or interest rate decisions are released from the Federal Reserve and figure out the date and time that those occurred. Go to TradingView, go back in history and find the date and time and see what happened to the market. You'll see these huge spikes, huge wicks, huge movements that happen after the news drop, and it it it's a very real thing. So you got to consider the news when you're trading, but where do you go to consider the news? So I'm going to show you a couple places. MyFXbook.com, and specifically their economic calendar, is a great resource. You see here, this is the month of April 1st, and I'm going to scroll down. It goes in chronological order. So the date and time it's going to be released. You see the sessions start with the Sydney session. So obviously you see Australia news is going to be released first in the week. Then it's Tokyo session, so Japan, all their news events, and then so on and so forth. Now, over here you can see like green folder news, so it's low impact. Red folder news, it's high impact, and so on and so forth. The other cool thing about it is my FX book, they show what the previous result was the last time this news report came out, the general consensus, so what everybody thinking is going to be the result, and then they'll have the actual result after it's posted. And then you can even do notifications where my FX book will notify you when this news report's about to drop. If the other cool thing about my FX book is if you click on on any of these news events, let's go to Australian retail sales month over month for February. The previous was 1.8%. The consensus is it's only going to be a 0.2% gain, but it is high impact news. So let's click on it. Let's see what that's all about. The retail sales report gives an aggregated assessment of retail goods and services sales during a specified period of time. Retail sales in Australia are seasonal variable, and it's a major contributor to the total economy in the country. So the cool thing about my FX book is they give you the general concept of what this news report is all about, and then they'll even give you what how it'll affect the asset according if it's a bullish news report or a bearish news report. Keep reading. A higher than expected figure should be seen as positive bullish for the Australian dollar, while a lower than expected figure should be seen as a negative bearish for the Australian dollar. That's really, really handy. So now you have an understanding, okay, I know what this news report is, because before I had no idea what retail sales month over month meant. Now it gives me a basic understanding of what that news event is, and then how I can view it. If it's a positive number or a negative number, I know typically what kind of effect it'll have on the market. That's really important. My FX book is a great resource to become familiar with. It is my favorite source to look at for news. I print off the month list of news reports, and then I've got a monthly calendar on the wall back here in my office, and I'll write down all those news events that I know is going to affect the assets that I trade. So on this board, I'm going to have news events for the US dollar, for GJ, for GU, and US CAD. And now I can focus. As soon as I come in my office, right before I trade London session, I look at my board. Oh yeah, news is coming out at 3 in the morning for the British pound. Okay, I'm gonna be aware of that. So my FX book is a great resource. Another one that people tend to go to, I don't really care for it, but another one that's out there is called forexfactory.com. And the main thing is you got to make sure with this one, you got to make sure that the time is synced to your time zone. So there's a clock up here, and just click on it, and then make sure that it aligns with your time zone. So synchronized time is 7:28 a.m. That's correct for my time zone. You don't have to worry about that with my FX book. It already does it for you automatically. It'll show all the news events in your time, so you'll know exactly when they come out. Let's see here. And you'll see these yellow folder. That's the same as green folder. Like on my FX book, you'll see orange folder and you'll see red folder. It's really easy to figure out. You can click on over here. Let's see the Reserve Bank of Australia. Click on this folder here. Then it'll give you, these reasons why traders care as head of the central bank. I mean, you can read that, and then that gives you the history of all the times that report has come out. Basically the same idea as my FX book. I like my FX book. It's more aesthetically pleasing to me. I can set notifications if I wanted to, and then just I like my FX book. It's not a plug. That's my go-to. So those are the two places that you can go to get to figure out when your news releases are coming out. I want you to think of it this way. The market can remain illogical or unpredictable longer than you can stay sane and solvent. All right. So news gives the market an excuse to move for volatility. I see a lot of new beginners get trapped in trades because they didn't realize news was coming out. I see a lot of new traders. When I was in a few communities on Discord, I saw a lot of new traders get wiped out because of news events. They either underestimated the impact news had, or they just didn't know. And I don't want any of you to be in that situation where you don't know. You need to do your research. You need to You need to study the assets that you're trading. I have, let's see here. I have journals for just news events, right? They're right there. Well, right there. Doot, doot. Handwritten journals, certain news events and how they impacted my asset. Why do I do that? Well, this is a zero sum game. If there's a winner, then on the other side, there has to be a loser, right? So knowing that the market doesn't care about me and what I want, I need to do my due diligence. I need to do my research and make sure that I'm taking high probable trades and that I'm doing everything I can to keep the odds in my favor, right? I feel like that's the difference between a gambler and a trader, or a rookie and a professional trader. The professional trader is going to utilize all the tools in his arsenal to make sure that the odds are in his favor before he even considers entering the market. I say that, and I'm still learning a lot of that. And, um, I'm not saying I'm a master trader or that I'm the most disciplined trader, because I'm not. I get emotional. Every now and then I catch myself doing random trading, which is a huge no-no in my eyes. But on days that I'm not focused, or I'm not too keen on what's going on inside here, it does get to me. So what I'll do is in these journals, I'll write down, GDP report impacted US 100 NASDAQ, 150 points, strong bullish reaction, then spike down, 50% correction, and continuation trend of the day, so something to that effect. And that way, whenever I see these news reports coming out, I can always go back and reflect, okay, how did my asset move on that particular day when this report came out? And then that gives me an expectation of what to expect, obviously, for when that news release comes out. I might consider trading if I see conditions meet, or I might just stay out of the markets for the day. Sometimes that's the most profitable thing we can do, is just stay out of the markets for the day. So, that being said, you got to be really careful having expectations in trading and in the markets, because anytime that expectation isn't fulfilled, that can have a negative impact on your mindset and on your just your psychology. Okay. Traders have to be rigid in the rules, but yet remain flexible to accept uncertain outcomes. And that sounds weird, but you really, I would tell the new trader, be rigid in your rules, be flexible in your outcome. And me, I'm rigid in my rules to a sense, but I know when to break my rules, and I allow myself to break my rules. And there's certain times that I can, and it's allowed in my strategy and in my trading plan. So you have to remain flexible, right? And then with the news events, these news events are scattered schedule wise. I mean, you'll see where, like, maybe 1 month it seems like every day there's a news event for the asset you trade, and it's like, when am I going to get a clear day of just trading? That happens quite a bit, and eventually you're going to have to figure out how to adapt and overcome that, because I don't want news events to hold you back, but at the same time, you need to be cautious around news events. So there's a reason why a lot of prop firms don't like traders trading around news events, because they see the impact that it has on profits and traders' accounts and all that. So all I'm saying is, do your due diligence, look for news events, study them, study your asset, get to know your asset intimately and objectively, because that's going to help you take your trading to the next level. Okay. So myfxbook.com, the economic calendar, they post a new one out every Saturday. Add it to an email newsletter. I think you can subscribe to it, because I know it gets sent to my email every Saturday. And then Forex Factory is another resource that you can use, and get to know them, use them, put it in your arsenal, put it in your toolbox, and we can start navigating trading. So anyway, thanks for watching. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm pumping out videos. I'm going to try to do more videos. It's just time, between being a trader, mechanic at a power plant, and a dad and a husband. There's several different hats, full-time jobs, all of them. And I appreciate everyone's patience. So thank you again. Remember, consistent profitability, that's the goal. Financial freedom, that's the dream. Let's go. Everyone, this is Chance. I'm out of here. Peace out.